What's going on, guys? It's Tony, Urban Girl Scout Media. Living the dream as always, and, well, coming today to talk about some unique things that are ahead for the Magic the Gathering community, things that are going to be impacted by really the global issues that are going on. Now, before I get into this video, there are a lot of restrictions on what I can and cannot say related to the global issues that I think we all know about. That thing that sounds like a beer? Yeah. That's taken an impact on all of us. Now, this video today, this off the rails, whatever the hell I end up titling this, is going to be about how I see the Magic the Gathering community impacted in the short term. Long term, it was too complicated to make into one video. So this is a short term. I want to stress this is a prediction, just like every other YouTube personality, just like every other financial advisor. Predictions. That's all it is. With that being said, let's get into this. So, the last 2 weeks, the world events have really shifted the focus of what we can and cannot do, how we interact with one another. There's just a ton of crap. I think that the Magic the Gathering community is poised to see one of the next big swings of this impact. I think the main stock market, the general public, all those things have been impacted. Now it's time to focus on Magic the Gathering. For me, at least, and hopefully for you guys as well. With everything that's going on, there's a few things that I believe are going to really feel this constraint from Magic. Let's start with Standard and Draft. These are two of the things that are most popular for releasing of new products. Game stores advertise Friday Night Magic, Friday Night Draft, Standard events, all kinds of stuff. And with restrictions of how many people can be in a public gathering at one time, with countless LGSs across the country either shutting their doors because they make most of their money off of foot traffic, or removing the tables so that people can't come in and play. And depending upon what part of the country you're in, now maybe those game stores are closed because only essential services are allowed to be open. Ooh, that's some good coffee. I think that that's going to hurt Standard and Draft. We have Ikora coming out here soon, as well as some supplementary products, and I think those are going to really suffer. I really believe that Ikora is going to be one of the lower open sets of this time frame, and a lot of that is because of the safety and precautions we have to take due to world events. I believe after we get out of some of this turmoil, Standard will kind of get back to where it was, or at least paper Standard. I believe that Arena is going to explode over the next couple months, guys. As long as they keep adding things to Arena, keep the program working somewhat well, I see that Arena will be kind of the place to go for Standard. Now let's talk about local game stores in general, because there's a lot of videos, there's a lot of articles, there's a lot of stuff out there about predictions and based on what we've seen before, how we believe this is going to change now. Let's put it like this, guys. Local game stores operate on thin margins. Thin margins. Some stores are already actively selling online before all of this happened. Some stores do not and will be making that shift, and some stores are going to just close. The range of possibilities is very wide, but I think it basically comes down to this. I think 1 out of every 5 or 1 out of every 4, so about 20 to 25% of all local game stores at this point, I believe, are going to close for good. There's already one in my area that is closing, although I think there's other factors to it. I don't think the economy shift is the only reason. Nonetheless, that's kind of the world we're living in. So I believe about 1 in 5, 1 in 4 of these local game stores are going to close. And I believe out of the other, group that's left, 1 to 2, so whether you say 40 to 50% of the other population, they're going to have to shift so many aspects of their business to keep afloat. And it really is dependent upon where you live, what your business model is, how you receive products. Like, there's all kinds of factors, but I think the general feeling is 20 to 25% will close for good, 40 to 50% will be impacted severely, and then the rest I think are high enough on the food chain where they'll feel it, but it won't be detrimental to them long term. Now, the last piece of this that I want to talk about is the supply and demand that's going to hit the secondary market. I've already seen a lot of players who are hurt for money because they work in the service industry or they work in jobs that are deemed non-essential, but they still have bills to pay. I've seen a lot of players already selling stuff. A lot of collections are getting dumped. People are starting to drop product as quickly as they can because they believe, hey, prices are going to tank, which they are starting to tank. Individual prices on the secondary market are going down. This is one of those issues that you have to assess your own situation very carefully. Let me explain. If you are a Magic the Gathering player that 2 months ago was able to pay your bills, put money into savings, and still buy product that you either want to invest in or collect or display, whatever the hell it looked like. If you were able to do that 2 to 3 months ago with no credit card and you weren't making unreasonable sacrifices, you are likely not going to be impacted right away. If you're a Magic the Gathering player that used credit cards, that works in the service industry and is going to be hurting for money, you're going to be seeing a tight squeeze fast. The supply of certain cards already on the market is going up. And granted, sales are going down because nobody really knows how long we're going to be in this limbo. I think there is this overall feeling of, I need to put money in the bank. I need to take care of my family. And this cardboard is not necessarily something that is going to impact my life long term. Now, anyone who's looking to maybe move some of their position, feel free to contact me. I've got a little bit of money saved up to take advantage of just the situation where, there's people selling stuff, trying to offload stuff onto the market, and not just Magic the Gathering, but like video games and toys and other collectibles. The last few times that we've had these kind of recession-like situations, I haven't been able to do these things. I don't have a ton of money, but I do have enough to say I could make an investment or two and feel pretty good about myself. For everyone out there who is just not sure where they fall on the fence, what I would say is that now more than ever is the time to save. Now more than ever is I'm going to save my money. I'm going to try and offload unnecessary product. I have to be realistic about what I expect to get out of it. And then I have to take care of my responsibilities. That is truly the world we're living in. And I hope that everyone's able to stay safe. I hope that everyone's able to sell whatever it is that they want to sell and get a decent price. But I think the smaller players who service industry, who are maybe not considered essential workforce right now, those are the ones that are going to be offloading a lot of their product. They're not going to be able to go to game stores. So it's going to be that secondary market now that all of a sudden is going to see this weird increase of supply, which eventually the demand is going to catch up. The demand will catch up to it. And my logic behind that is, if I see 100 new listings of, let's say, a dual land, there's 100 more on average of any given dual land on eBay, and the prices are relatively low, That's going to create panic of people not wanting to miss out on it. And that's going to create panic of people wanting to get their card listed sooner so they can get the most value before it drops even more. So I think there's going to be two sides to this. I think there's going to be the people who want to continue to invest because this helps them kind of stay connected to a normal feeling and they have the money and the means to do so, mixed with the people who just need money in general. And this is, I mean, again, prediction, that's all this is. That being said, I think the last piece of what is really going to be felt within the Magic the Gathering community is whenever we try to get back to normal. I believe Hasbro already has some plans in place. I believe that they are going to do some drastic things to jumpstart the economy within Magic. Remember, they will tell you that they don't really care about the secondary market, which means that they care about that primary sealed product, original sale, however you want to code it. And I think they are going to do things they haven't done before to get Magic players to spend money. Let's assume in 4 months, 3 months, we're back to normal. That there are no fears about what's going on right now in the world. That the economy it's bottomed out. As far as Magic the Gathering is concerned, it's bottomed out and it's time, people are ready to spend a little bit of money. And that's, 3 months is incredibly optimistic. But, let's just say, when that time comes, I think Hasbro is going to look and say, some players are not going to be able to afford cards on the secondary market. How can we reprint and push this stuff out to get it out quicker? I don't believe they're going to drop their prices. I believe they're going to get creative with what they release and try and give you more bang for your buck. That's just me. And I've been making some notes on that so that I can make another video. But either way around it, those are the big things that I believe are going to happen. I think the local game stores are going to suffer. Players are going to start getting broken into a few different categories. The big-time investors that are going to swoop up a lot of the stuff going on. Those middle-level players who are going to not sell off anything that they don't need to and try and pick up cards that maybe as the economy and the market is on the downtick they can get. And then those on the lower end of the scale that are going to sell whatever they can because they need money. And that's absolutely fair no matter which side you're on. I think Hasbro is going to try and figure out a way to jumpstart their own economy within the game. And like I said at the beginning of this, I think Draft and Standard are in a lot of trouble when it comes to live gaming. What do you guys think? What do you guys think is going to happen? Do you think I'm way off base? Should I have gone more in depth into this? What do you guys think is the outcome? Let me know. And of course, stay safe. These are some scary times ahead. Make sure to take care of your family. Make sure to take care of yourself, your loved ones. Check in on them. This is a game. So if you are able to, get with a friend or two in a safe and responsible way and play this game, do it. We don't have to necessarily isolate ourselves from every single human being ever. We have to be responsible, but Magic the Gathering is a game at the end of the day, and I highly encourage people to just find ways to enjoy it. So, my name is Tony K. This is Urban Girl Scout Media. We're living the dream, of course, and I just appreciate you guys stopping by and listening to my rambles. Thanks.